Right, so today we are starting a brand new saga looking at one of the wildest 90-day fiancé couples of all time. 22-year-old Nicole from the USA and 24-year-old Azan from Morocco. In terms of drama, controversy and comedy, these two are sat in the 90-day fiancé Hall of Fame alongside people like Daniela Muhammad and Big Ed. So for a bit of background, Nicole has a 2-year-old daughter called May. When Nicole graduated from high school, she moved to Texas to be with May's father. However, when Nicole fell pregnant with May, the father decided that he wanted nothing to do with her. So Nicole ended up moving back to Florida to be with her family and once again started her search for love. Then 6 months ago, when a message came into her inbox, she believed she had found it.
It was like, hey, my name is Azan. I'd like to get to know you. He got that personal trainer body and he's just really hot.
Brilliant. Another delusional American who's far too dense to ask the question, why could this person possibly be interested in me? I mean, surely you've got to be asking yourself, why is a guy like this looking for love on the other side of the world? Like, surely he doesn't have too much of a hard time finding girls where he lives. Well, anyway, when they started talking, Nicole didn't know exactly where he was from, but she did notice that the initials for his location were M.O.
And I found out it was Morocco. I was like, where's Morocco? I looked it up and I was like, Africa? Really? That's crazy.
Another scathing indictment for the US education system. I mean, I can't say I have the biggest sample size, but whenever I see Americans on the internet being asked where countries are on a map, they rarely have a clue. Anyway, I don't know what she means by crazy exactly, but I'm guessing she just means that it isn't exactly close. In fact, Azan lives over 7,000 kilometers away.
Me and Azan have never actually met in person. But we just have this connection like I've never felt before. We started talking about marriage probably 3 weeks in.
Here we go again. Someone from another country who's just met an American online talking about marriage just a few weeks in before they've even met in person. How that doesn't send alarm bells ringing with the American, I will never know. It could be a scam, a catfish, a green card seeker, a human trafficker, any whole host of dangers.
He had sent me a message that said, will you marry me, with a little ring emoji, and I was like, yes, I definitely want to marry you, you know.
A message with an emoji. How romantic. And she said yes, for goodness sakes. It is only the start, but I can already see exactly where this is going, and it is not good. But hey, hopefully they'll prove me wrong like Jenny and Samit did. Well, with the wedding now set to take place, Nicole is off to Morocco tomorrow to finally meet Azan in person. It's a big commitment, but to apply for the K1 visa, you need evidence of a serious relationship, which obviously requires that you've met in person at least once. Well, coming up, Nicole is off to meet Azan in person in Morocco. But first, a quick message from today's sponsor, Revolut. Revolut helps you spend, send and save smarter. Download Revolut with my link and get £20 after your first transaction. With Revolut, you can quickly send and spend money in over 70 currencies to and in over 160 countries with instant transfers and low fees. I personally particularly like the live currency converter, which allows me to preview any currency at any amount and see exactly what my conversion is, all at my fingertips. Say goodbye to those high fees and poor conversion rates that you get from some high street banks, and say hello to getting more from your money. Also, when I'm on holiday, I find the ATM finder on my app so useful. It's so easy to use. I just select find nearby ATMs when I'm somewhere unfamiliar, and it shows me a map with all the usable ATMs based on my current location. It is an absolute lifesaver. Not to mention great savings accounts, 24/7 live chat, and I can even earn up to 10% cashback online and in-store with my favourite brands. So what are you waiting for? Sign up with my link and get a £20 reward after your first purchase. Huge thank you to Revolut for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into it.
Are you excited that I'm leaving tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm really excited and I can't wait. That would be great. Yeah.
I mean, he sounds ecstatic, and the chemistry between the two of them, off the charts. Why did I ever doubt them? On the plus side though, at least he's a real person. Well, before she flies out tomorrow, Nicole has organised a big family dinner to say goodbye to everyone. Her parents are divorced, but they're both attending with their partners, and joining them are Nicole's sister, who's looking after her baby while she's gone, and her younger brother.
Hey, you want a hot dog?
Can I have a burger with cheddar cheese on it?
I don't know if they have pork in Morocco. Did you do research?
On Morocco? No.
Great, another culture shock inbound. What is it with these people and travelling to places without learning the first thing about them? It's not like she's going for a day trip either, she's going for 5 weeks. Learning the rules and the cultural norms seems like bare minimum, but they just never do it. Only her stepmother has bothered to do any sort of research.
I have a lot of pickpocketing. It's like right up there in the top for human trafficking. And it's a Muslim country.
So as you can tell, since Nicole told her family and friends about the trip, they've been very against it and have been trying to convince her not to go. I don't think it's going to do her any harm to know any of these things. Like now she can pay more attention to what's in her pockets and be more aware of her personal safety. And maybe she can even learn what to expect in terms of rules and norms in a Muslim country. But having said all that, maybe they're doing a little bit too much.
Worst case scenario is she comes back in a body bag. You want to go with the best one?
No, worst case scenario, she doesn't come back at all. No body bag, no nothing.
I mean, technically not wrong, but bloody hell guys, cheer up! I get that they're probably not that well travelled and the idea of their daughter or sister heading off to a relatively unknown country to them is kind of scary, but they could be giving her a nicer send-off. I mean, voicing their concerns is fair, but don't make it the theme of the night.
Kids have gone over to other countries and wound up getting caned because they did something wrong, you know,
I'm
stuck
sure
in jail
Azan will make
because
sure
they...
nothing will happen to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure Azan's above the law, so if she breaks one of the rules, I don't know what she's expecting him to do. As far as I know, he doesn't have any legal or political power in the region, though I guess he'll be there to guide her to prevent her from breaking them in the first place, and help her avoid them putting them in any dangerous or risky positions.
Nicole's a beautiful girl, but she's not the most beautiful girl out there, and it's difficult to understand why Nicole.
I feel kind of torn about this because on the one hand I did make this argument myself, but on the other it is a bit different coming from someone reviewing these episodes rather than one of her actual family members. Like if anyone should feel that Nicole is God's gift, surely it's her mother. Maybe this sort of disapproval is why Nicole seeks validation from foreign men on the internet.
Common sense has been overridden by, you know, the desire to be in love. There are monsters out there.
To be fair, there are monsters everywhere, the US included, but the whole thing about common sense being overridden by the desire to be in love is such a common theme in these sagas. The American partner is usually so desperate or lonely or swept off their feet by someone miles out of their league that it just blinds them to all of the red flags.
I'll be with someone else that I trust, and you should trust him too.
Give me a reason. Why should I
talk
trust
to him? Let him give
Why
you
should
his
I trust him?
promise.
I don't have any reason to trust him.
She's making a valid point here. Faith without evidence is foolish. She needs a good reason to trust him, especially when the fear isn't just, can I trust him to be loyal and not break your heart, but can I trust him not to scam you for a green card or sell your organs to the highest bidder? Well, unfortunately, Nicole doesn't really have an answer, so she says goodbye to her worried parents and sets off. And now it's time for us to meet Azan ourselves.
Nicole, she's my fiancé. We've been waiting for a long time to meet and be together, so that's why she came to Morocco. And, I'm really excited.
At least he sounds more enthusiastic here than he did on the phone. Well, not long after, Azan turns up to the airport and nervously awaits Nicole's arrival. He says that because he's never met her in person, he hopes that she looks how he imagines, and specifies that he hopes she's not too tall and not too short, though I'm not too sure that's exactly what he's thinking. Anyway, eventually, Nicole appears and runs into his arms.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. Oh my god. I'm really happy. Oh my god.
Okay, this was kind of sweet, and you can't read too much into it, but they both genuinely seemed happy to see each other. To be fair, after a 10-hour flight from Florida to Morocco, I bet every single thought had crossed Nicole's mind. So I bet this is a real cocktail of emotions for her. I'm sure the same is probably true for Azan, who, among other things, and perhaps uniquely, feels slightly disappointed.
Okay, I'm really happy that finally.
I know, oh my gosh.
When I see all her body, I was surprised that she's big a little bit.
Not the best thing to notice first. I'm guessing her pictures online didn't reveal her physique, and she didn't exactly show it off on their video calls. He put it fairly gently, to be fair, but I don't think she'll be too happy watching that back. Anyway, he doesn't mention it to her, for now at least, and takes her outside to meet his friend Hamza.
Hey.
It's my friend.
Oh, hi.
It's Hamza. Yeah, it's my friend Hamza.
Nicole.
Yeah, it's Nicole. So, yeah. It's my best friend.
I can't tell if Nicole is just a bit shy and awkward or if she had no idea that Hamza was going to be there. It is a bit weird though, especially given Azan doesn't explain why Hamza's there. He even sits behind them in the minibus, awkwardly third wheeling, and gets shown around the hotel room with them. Anyway, Moroccan law says that because they're not married, Nicole and Azan can't share a room together. But apparently, Nicole doesn't care.
You can't even kiss in street or hug, you know, but she keep pushing me that we can't separate and be like in two different rooms.
This is slightly worrying. Clearly she didn't heed the warnings from her family after all. If you're going to visit another country, especially one you know very little about, you really need to respect their laws and culture. Not only is it just disrespectful not to, it's also hugely risky. Getting in trouble with the law in a foreign country is never a good idea. But for whatever reason, they decide to risk it.
We get to share the bed?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That would be great.
Okay, you answered my question. That's it.
Yeah. That's great.
Hamza still listening to this is so funny. What is this guy still doing here? Nicole even says to the cameras in front of Azan that she's worried that Hamza is going to be around more than she expected. But Azan does nothing about it. So Hamza's just sat there listening to them plan breaking the law and being intimate together.
Love is powerful, but if you don't have sex, if you don't have physical attraction, you have to have both components for a relationship to work, especially forever.
I wonder if she's under the impression that the physical attraction is there from Azan's side. I guess probably because he hasn't said anything yet. He's clearly not comfortable talking about intimacy so publicly either. You can tell from the way he awkwardly avoids eye contact with her and looks away from the cameras. I think this kind of openness is a lot more common in Nicole's culture than it is in his.
I know that Nicole, she really wants to have sex. I want to make sex with, I think with Nicole.
I think he doesn't sound too convinced, does he? The way he said it made it seem like he wants someone else, but I think that's just the language barrier. And as it turns out, he wasn't lying. After an uncomfortably long build-up of hugging, kissing, and I love yous, the crew get kicked out the room and return the morning after.
And last night was good because we talked and we had some intimate moments and we had sex.
Nice one, Nicole. You've just incriminated the poor man. I can't tell if he's frustrated that he's just been outed for breaking the law and probably some cultural norms, or whether he's just embarrassed. So apparently in Morocco, unmarried couples can typically stay together in a hotel room, but there's a local regulation that Moroccan citizens, whether male or female, aren't allowed to share a room with a foreign citizen unless they're married. Anyway, hoping to show Nicole more of his country, Azan takes her out for some local food. But before it even arrives, Nicole already has a problem with it.
I'm patient. I can be patient.
You have to be.
Even
if it's for 1 hour, you should be patient.
1 hour?
Yeah.
See?
We don't know when food is ready, so.
Then I will leave.
It's just unnecessarily hostile. Only the second day in and she's already threatening to leave if she doesn't get her way. I was assuming she'd have some complaints about the food, but this is a next level of disrespect. Azan goes on to say that he's read that a lot of people in the US have bad health due to bad eating habits, and so he's really hoping to get Nicole on board with fresh, healthy food.
You know, in Morocco, we call it zalouk.
Zalouk?
Yeah.
But I don't like what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try it.
For goodness sakes, she's like one of those spoiled kids on Super Nanny that's only ever eaten chicken nuggets, trying vegetables for the first time. How is this a fully grown adult woman? I mean, I would say at least she's trying it and giving it a go, but she started shaking her head before it was even properly in her mouth. Unsurprisingly, she goes on to admit that she's a picky eater and only ever really eats hot dogs, burgers, and macaroni cheese.
And I don't like zucchini and vegetables and stuff. You wanna know, I like that there's french fries everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
That "yeah, I know" is a little bit too quick. He's annoyed at her, isn't he? And can you blame him? He wants to introduce her to all of these healthy, fresh, delicious foods, and she sat there focusing on the french fries. Well, you can feel the frustration is starting to build, and eventually he tells Nicole that he hopes that she can learn how to cook, and then delivers a fairly brutal blow.
I want my fiancé, like, eat healthy, to go to gym. That's good for us, and, you know, it's good for you.
You want me to change? You never told me that.
Crikey, we are off to a rocky start. There has been a big culture shock, and Nicole doesn't really seem open to giving Morocco a chance. In return, Azan clearly doesn't like everything he sees with Nicole, and I don't know how open she is to changing. With only 2 days gone and almost 5 months to go, this is unsurprisingly just the start of their problems. So if you want to find out what happens next, make sure you're subscribed down below. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.